Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. This is one of those rumors that just can't be ignored, especially when it involves a player like Derk Henry. You probably heard the whispers swirling around the league in early January 2026. Rumors that Henry, the tank from Baltimore, might be on his way to the Steelers. And if true, it could be one of the most impactful moves in recent franchise history. Yeah, I know it sounds crazy, right? But let's break this down because the implications are huge for Pittsburgh's Super Bowl aspirations and the AFC North as a whole. First, let's talk about why this makes sense from a Steelers perspective. Derk Henry, at 32, is still an absolute force on the field. Last season, he racked up 278 carries for a staggering 456 yards and scored 12 touchdowns. His yards per carry at 5'2" remains elite, and his ability to break tackles, 62 last year, along with his yards after contact averaging 3.8 yards, makes him a nightmare for defenses. Henry isn't just a power back. He's a game changer, someone who can impose his will against most defenses. And despite his age, he still plays like a guy in his prime, especially with his reputation as the stiff-arm king. Remember, he's amassed over 122 rushing yards in his career and scored 98 touchdowns. 4 Pro Bowls and 2 rushing titles speak volumes about his impact and consistency over the years. Now, why would the Ravens consider trading Henry? Well, their cap space at around $22 million is tight, and they're likely focusing their financial resources on extending Lamar Jackson's contract, something that's been a priority for Baltimore. They also have young running backs like Justice Mitchell, who they want to develop, so moving Henry could free up cap space and help them focus on a more pass-heavy offense, especially if they're aiming to maximize Lamar's arm and speed. The reported trade deal could be a third-round pick in the 2026 draft, which seems like a steal considering Henry's production. Plus, moving Henry would save Baltimore around $16 million in cap space, a big win when they're trying to navigate a tight budget after a 12-5 season that, despite their success, ended in an early playoff exit. So, the Steelers, what's in it for us? Well, adding Derk Henry to our backfield would be a game changer. Imagine Warren and Henry sharing carries, forming a thunder and lightning duo that defenses simply cannot handle. Warren's quickness combined with Henry's bruising style would be a nightmare for opposing defenses, especially in late-game situations when we want to grind out the clock. Last season, our run game was solid but predictable, averaging around 140 yards per game, and defenses often stacked the box against us. Henry's addition would not only boost our rushing yards, but also diversify our attack, forcing defenses to respect the run more, which opens up the passing game. And speaking of the passing game, with defenses forced to respect the run, we'd see more opportunities for our receivers. Think of George Pickens and Deontay Johnson to get open in single coverage. Last season, our aerial attack was solid, but with a power running game led by Derk Henry, we'd be able to set up play-action passes more effectively. Plus, facing a front like the Bengals, 25th-ranked run defense, this could be the perfect opportunity to exploit those matchups and keep our offense unpredictable. Looking at the bigger picture, the impact of Henry on the Steelers' overall ranking in rushing efficiency would be significant. Historically, when a team adds a player of Henry's caliber, their run ranking jumps from the middle of the pack to the top 3, reducing turnovers and extending drives. It's not just about the yards. Henry's presence would elevate our entire offensive efficiency, especially in clutch moments. This is crucial for playoff success because, as we all know, controlling the clock and establishing the run are often the keys to winning in the postseason. Now, you might be wondering about the cost. The Steelers currently have around $39 million in cap space, which would be enough to absorb Henry's $14 million salary in a trade, especially if we make some strategic cuts elsewhere. It's a move that, if executed right, could push us over the edge and make us serious contenders for Super Bowl LXI. The odds are already shifting. Caesars has moved our chances from +1,200 to +750, thanks in part to the potential addition of a power back like Henry. That kind of boost in the betting odds reflects the belief that with Henry in the backfield, our offense becomes one of the most balanced and explosive in the league. And let's not forget about the playoffs. Derk Henry's postseason career is nothing short of legendary. Over his career, he's rushed for over 200 yards in the postseason, with an EPA per run that's among the best in NFL history. His ability to control the game's tempo in the playoffs could be the difference maker for us. Imagine him powering through defenses like the Pats or the Bengals, wearing them down as the game stretches on. His presence would give us a reference point for ground control, especially in tight playoff battles where every yard counts. Looking ahead, the trade would set the stage for a Steelers run to not only dominate the AFC North, but also make a serious push for a Super Bowl title. The AFC North is getting more competitive, with Cleveland and Cincinnati both investing heavily in their rosters, but adding Derk Henry would send a message. Pittsburgh is all in on contending. The rivalry with Baltimore would reach new heights, especially if Henry's physical running style becomes a key weapon in our arsenal. We'd be pushing our limits, leveraging Henry's skill set to wear down defenses and keep our offense relentless. Of course, some fans might raise concerns about Henry's durability, especially after missing a game last season with an ankle injury. But even at 32, he's maintained a high level of play, and his toughness is well documented. Plus, with our medical staff and training staff, we're confident we can keep him on the field and maximize his impact. The addition of a player like Henry isn't just about immediate production. It's about setting a tone, establishing a culture of physicality and dominance that can carry us through the playoffs and into the Super Bowl. In conclusion, this potential trade, if it comes to fruition, would be a game changer. It would transform our running game, open up our entire offense, and send a clear message to the rest of the league that the Steelers are serious about competing at the highest level. As the deadline approaches, rival AFC North teams are probably sweating this possibility. A Henry-led Steelers team would be a nightmare for defenses, and with our talented defense and emerging young core, we'd be in prime position to make a deep run this season. The Steelers have always thrived on a strong run game, and bringing in Derk Henry would be the ultimate statement that we're not just here to participate, we're here to dominate. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Derk Henry would be the missing piece to bring us another Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news. We're in for an exciting ride, and I can't wait to see how this all unfolds. Let's go Steelers!